Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And it's our technology unit, and today we're talking about something called deepfakes, okay? This is similar to fake news. You may have heard about that before, but deepfakes this term specifically refers to photographs that have been altered.
Video, too.
Or video, and of course, they look real, so people believe them. So, of course, we're considering them fake. Not real, they're fake, but they're deep fakes, which means they're really causing a lot of trouble.
And technology has gotten so good that, other things have gotten good too. Some of these deep fakes have people in masks, which are amazing. And it'll show them ripping the mask. You remember the Tom Cruise films, the Mission Impossible? He'd wear that mask, or some other character would wear a mask and pretend they were someone else.
Yeah,
and you'd
sounds
think,
familiar. Yeah.
Oh, that's not possible. Now it is.
At least in terms of video.
It's amazing. Yeah, so if you look very carefully, sometimes you can see at their neck. You can see some weirdness going on down there. You can see deep fakes. You can see glitches in the video. I've seen deep fakes that have that, where someone's hand or foot will disappear for a minute. You know it's a deep fake. So it's kind of fun to look and see what's going on. Deep fakes are put out by the good guys and the bad guys both. So we got to be smart in using our intelligence and just a feel about whether something's true or not. So we're going to be talking about deep fakes for the next couple of days. They're kind of a big deal in news, at least those who keep up with this sort of thing. It's a big deal these days because deep fakes are coming out about people that are pretty famous, and they say they're fake, but are they really? We'll find out. We're going to read through day one, and then we'll be back to look at some of these terms and some of these phrases.
Deepfakes have recently attracted media attention in Taiwan, but they are by no means new. After all, the manipulation of images dates back to the beginning of photography. Furthermore, who hasn't gasped at the creativity demonstrated by the video editing and computer-generated graphics of modern action, science fiction, and fantasy movies? We like to think that our frequent exposure to media means that we can handily tell the difference between reality and illusion. Unfortunately, the truth is that deepfakes have made it harder than ever to successfully do so. Across the globe, deepfakes are used for a variety of reasons. While some people use these AI processes to illustrate the incredible potential of the technology, or to poke fun at people in power through satire and parody, these uses only account for about a tenth of deepfake videos. The rest, the vast majority, is pornography, and this is what Taiwan came face-to-face with in October 2021. At least 100 politicians and other media personalities were appalled to learn that their images had been used without their consent in explicitly sexual videos. Looking back, however, porn is where deepfakes began. In 2017, a Reddit user with the name Deepfakes was discovered doing to international stars exactly what was done to Taiwanese celebrities in 2021. The immediate reaction to the deepfake scandal in Taiwan from various levels of government was to turn to the law. While it's true that laws might help discourage the production of deepfakes, the fact remains that they are all over the internet now. The more we understand deepfakes, the better we will be able to counteract the problems they pose.
Let's take a look at the title first, guys. Deepfake. Usually we just say something is fake. Why would they call it a deep fake? It's a deep fake because it's really hard to even distinguish real from fake. These fakes are really good. So if they come up with something that looks really legit and authentic, but it's not, we can call it a deep fake. What are they and why do they matter? We're going to talk about that over the next couple of programs. So deep fakes have recently attracted media attention in Taiwan. So if it attracts media attention, it means journalists and reporters are reporting about deep fakes, maybe showing us some examples. But it says they are by no means new. By no means absolutely not. So by no means new. They're not new at all. They've been around for a while. They just keep getting better and better, though. I remember I first heard about deepfakes about 5-6 years ago, and we were being warned not to accept deepfakes as real, but also that videos were going to come out exposing some of our politicians and our celebrities doing bad things, and that those are real. Some of them are very real, but they don't want us to think they're real. So you have to become educated, educate yourself as to what a deep fake is. You can't necessarily just rely on the media to tell you something's a deep fake. A lot of the media sources aren't honest either.
Exactly. So it's getting kind of complicated out there. So again, deepfakes have recently attracted media attention in Taiwan, but they, of course, are not at all new. They're by no means new. After all, the manipulation of images dates back to the beginning of photography. So after all, at the end of the day, the manipulation of images goes way back to the beginning of photography. So yes, you can manipulate images in the darkroom. At least they did that in the early days of photography. I think they had the concept of the double exposure, where you could have someone sitting in a chair and take a picture of that, and then have the person get out of the chair and take another picture of that. So when you process that in the darkroom, it looks like there's a ghost sitting in the chair.
Cool.
People believed that at the beginning, but later on it was explained, and then they knew it was fake. But of course, there are other ways to manipulate photographs as well. You can dodge and burn and do all sorts of stuff like that. Again, multiple exposures or putting two pictures together. There are various ways to do that. But that, of course, was the old way of doing it with photography, with dark rooms.
Yeah, I was thinking about all the videos I've seen online that show ghosts, suddenly appearing. All of this stuff could be real. It could be something that the video cameras actually caught, or it just could be someone manipulating the video. So it's kind of cool to look at, but be warned, some of these are deep fakes, or video or photographs or memes. Memes are very popular these days. They could be just manipulated images. So manipulation is one of our vocab words. To manipulate means to change or to control something, handle it. Maybe you alter something, which just means to change. Maybe you're altering something with a computer, which is what most of these deepfakes that's where they come from. They're computer manipulations of images or video. So if you manipulate, again, you're changing it, altering it, editing it, moving it. It could be text, it could be data. Usually if it's a deep fake, it's an image, whether it's video or still photograph or just I've even seen people take drawings, for example, political cartoons that they change or manipulate. So be careful what you're looking at.
It's going on all the time. And furthermore, who hasn't gasped at the creativity demonstrated by the video editing and computer-generated graphics of modern action, science fiction, and fantasy movies? So certainly we all like those special effects, CGI movies.
Yeah.
They're really fantastic to watch because, my goodness, it looks like they're really fighting inside a volcano or something like that. So, of course, who hasn't gasped at the creativity in those movies? Now, this word gasp here, G-A-S-P, just means you go, wow, that's so cool. You kind of lose your breath, sort of.
Yeah.
It's breathtaking. So to gasp is the verb here, but, I've had problems with this word. I've had problems with this word for a long time in the past tense. I think it's very difficult for even native speakers to say it correctly. Gasp. How the heck are you supposed to say that in one breath? Gasped.
Yeah, and to say it
gasped.
quickly.
Gasped.
Gasped.
Yeah, it's really hard to say correctly because we have trouble ourselves.
Gasped.
But who hasn't gasped at the creativity in those movies. And of course, they are demonstrated in action movies, science fiction movies, and fantasy movies. Now, we like to think that our frequent exposure to media means that we can handily tell the difference between reality and illusion. Yes, we're watching these movies all the time. We watch YouTube videos. People send us videos all the time. So we're pretty smart, you know? We're pretty intelligent. Everybody is above average intelligence. So we can all tell what is fake and what isn't. We can handily tell the difference. So handily here means just easily. It's very easy for us. It's easy peasy for us. Yeah, I can tell the difference. I know it's fake. I can tell the difference between reality and illusion. Illusion just means it's not there. It's an illusion.
Yeah, handily here is a great word. Skillfully, you could say someone's handy with a needle, handy with a brush. Maybe they're a great painter. But here it just means skillfully, easily, right? You can easily tell the difference. Illusion. Sometimes you think you're seeing something, but it's not really there. So it's a deceptive appearance. It's a deceptive impression. So you think you're seeing something, but you're really not. So maybe you think you see, I don't know, maybe you're really thirsty and you think you see in the distance a gas station where you can stop and buy a Coke or a Sprite, something like that. But no, you passed by and it was an illusion. It was an empty building that was out of business. So, yeah, sometimes you see things that are illusions. They're not really there. If you've been to a magic show and you're familiar with a magician's tricks, you've probably seen lots of illusions. They try to trick the eye into believing that what you're seeing is real when it's not.
Indeed, so most people think they can tell the difference between reality and illusion. Unfortunately, the truth is that deepfakes have made it harder than ever to successfully do so. So in the past, it was pretty easy to tell the difference between reality and illusion. But nowadays, technology is getting more and more sophisticated all the time. We've got new algorithms and stuff like that. So indeed, lots of people are finding it very difficult to find the difference between what is real and what is fake. So that could be a problem in the future, which we'll talk about as our lesson continues. But right now we're going to take a break and listen to our Chinese teacher.
Hello everyone, 我是派老师。今天讲解的是3月份 Unit16 Deepfakes， 这是第一天的课程。大家听过 Deepfakes 吗？在网络上看过深伪技术所制作的恶搞名人影片吗？或许大家看的时候只觉得不可思议或很搞笑。不过，随着在台湾也有名人、政治人物成为深伪技术受害者，大众也慢慢意识到，科技发展如果不受控、不受法律约束，实在是太可怕了。好，我们一起看看第一天课文有哪些学习重点吧。首先，第一句 Deepfakes have recently attracted media attention， 请同学特别注意哦。如果你在句子里面看到了 recent 或 recently 这样子的副词，一般而言，我们的时态要用现在完成式。Deepfakes have recently attracted media attention， 近来在台湾受到媒体关注。好，再来是后面逗点之后 ，but they are by no means new 这个句子里面有一个片语，请同学特别注意。By no means 意思就是一点也不。再来第二个句子，请同学特别注意到主要的动词片语 dates back to， 这里表示是追溯到，去操弄影像这件事情可以追溯到什么时候？要请同学特别注意用主动的，所以是 dates back to， 而且是现在式。同义词 be traced back to。用被动语态 be traced back to。 好，再来请看到第三个句子。第三个句子 Furthermore, who hasn't gasped at the creativity demonstrated by the video editing？ 请同学特别注意 gasp 这个动词。什么是 gasp 呢？就是倒抽一口气。比方说，当受害者看到过去加害过他的人，通常呢都会非常害怕，他们会倒抽一口气，所以 gasp 有表示很惊讶、很惊奇的意思。再来，我们看到第四个句子 We like to think that our frequent exposure to media means 哒哒哒哒哒。好，请同学特别把 we like to think that 画起来，意思就是我们常自认为怎么样。好的，再来请看到第5个句子。Unfortunately, the truth is that deepfakes have made it harder than ever to successfully do so. 好，这里的 it 是假受词，代替的是后面的不定词片语 to successfully do so， 要做到这一点，顺利的做到这一点，越来越困难了。而什么造成我们要去做到这一点很困难呢？就是因为 deepfakes 的关系。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back, guys. We're talking about deep fakes, what they are, why they matter, and why you need to know about them because they're becoming more and more a part of everyday life. And you need to be able to tell the difference between a deep fake and what's real. Although it's hard to see anything that's real anymore. Sometimes I wonder, and I say this out loud, who's telling the truth? You know, do I listen to them or do I listen to them? Or just be very careful. Do you believe what you're seeing? You need to always double check. Now, if a news agency publishes something, Tom, I always double check. Usually they're telling a lie, so I look somewhere else and to try to find out what the real truth is. You know, in politics, they both lie. Every side is lying, so try to find out what the truth is as far as you can do this. So we're going to try to help you know what a deep fake is. Sometimes, of course, we've seen the manipulation of images in our entertainment industry, right? Tom, you talked about all of the CGI that we see in movies. Kind of cool. I mean, we used to not be able to fight such realistic monsters. Nowadays, I see some of the movies and I think, wow, that looks kind of real. I'm surprised. Although, I know that Martin Scorsese, he did a gangsters movie a couple years ago, and he needed to take the older actors and make them look younger. And it looked fake, Tom. Did you see it?
No, but I think I saw reviews for it.
It looked really fake. I watched it.
And I think in a Star Wars movie, they made Princess Leia look really fake, too.
That looked kind of fake. She looked like a ghost.
That was kind of creepy, actually.
Yes.
So I guess they still have a ways to go on this, but some people are more successful than others. And let's take a look at the second paragraph here. It says, across the globe, all around the world, deepfakes are used for many reasons, for a variety of reasons. While some people use these AI processes to illustrate the incredible potential of the technology or to poke fun at people in power through satire and parody, these uses only account for about 1/10 of deepfake videos. So indeed, people are using deepfakes to play with the technology to see what they can do.
Sure.
Or maybe they're trying to poke fun at people in power like politicians and stuff like that, and they're using this for satire or parody. Satire and parody are very similar. You're just basically making fun of somebody using humor or exaggeration, and parody is similar in that you use a copy of something to sort of stand in for somebody, and it's supposed to be funny and get a few laughs and things like that. So yeah, you know, that's like political cartoons, for example. That's what deepfakes could be used in some situations.
But these only account for about 1/10 or 10% of deep fake videos. The rest, the vast majority, is pornography. Ugh, that's gross. Now, when you talk about something being vast, it's big, right? So vast majority, or the biggest majority, the biggest part of all the videos out there, unfortunately, are in the porn industry. Yuck. Pornography is any use of images, video especially, could be still photos. It used to be magazines like Playboy, Playgirl, where you would see naked people posing, and they were supposed to be sexual. Hopefully, only adults were looking at those, but nowadays porn's everywhere, so you got to protect your children. For any of the parents out there listening, please be aware that when you give your kid a phone, you're making it very easy for them to get their hands on porn, which isn't good for young people. So this is what Taiwan came face to face with in October 2021. So face to face, if you're face to face with something, it means you have to deal with it. You can't avoid it. It's directly in front of you. It's confronting you. So you have to deal with it or resolve it.
Okay, so the situation was that at least 100 politicians and other media personalities were appalled to learn that their images had been used without their consent in explicitly sexual videos. So lots of people here in Taiwan, politicians and celebrities, media personalities, they were appalled to see their images used in pornographic films. If you're appalled, that means you're just very shocked to see something. You can't believe what you are seeing. It just really shakes you to your core.
You're horrified.
You're upset by that thing. So they were appalled to find out, how could that happen? How could I be in this pornographic movie? That is really weird. I never filmed in a movie before, although maybe it looks like kind of fun, maybe, but I'm not going to do that because it would ruin my career. But yes, they were appalled to learn that their images had been used without their consent, without their permission.
Yeah, if you see this word consent, it usually refers to permission to do something. Usually, if you don't give your permission, people can't just automatically put your image on TV or upload your image in certain situations. Especially newspapers, they have to get your permission to print your photo, especially photos of children. They have to get a parent's consent to do that explicitly. Explicitly means very clearly, but if you put sexual after that, it means sexually explicit or explicitly sexual. You can use in either order. It just means it's really obviously porn. It's not something that you'll see in R-rated movies or PG-rated movies. No. These are really X-rated, really bad porn videos. So, yeah, they had not been asked about using their image. So sometimes you can just take someone's face and, of course, put it on somebody else's body. They do that in the movies today. There are actors and actresses, usually actresses who don't want to appear nude. So they'll have someone else's body in the movie with their face put on that body. So it looks like it's them, but it's not them. So your consent is required, just meaning your permission is required for someone to do something.
Indeed. So a lot of these pornographic movies come from Japan, of course, so they probably use those because they are featuring Asian people, so you can put Taiwanese faces on those bodies, and these people are in those videos.
Gross.
Even though it's deep fake here, but yeah, they did not give their consent, and they were explicit. These videos were quite explicit. Now, looking back, however, porn or pornography is where deep fakes began. It's actually where a lot of things begin, and in 2017, a Reddit user with the name Deepfakes was discovered doing to international stars exactly what was done to Taiwanese celebrities in 2021. So we've got this pattern here to do to someone what someone else is doing to someone else. So I could say, I'm going to do to you what I did to your brother. And I beat your brother pretty badly, so I'm going to do the same thing to you. So
no!
Well, it's just an example. I wish I could think of something less violent, but I'm going to do to you what I did to your brother. So here, of course, we have the sentence here, a Reddit user did something to someone which was done to Taiwan celebrities. Taiwanese celebrities back in 2021. This happened way back in 2017.
Reddit, of course, is a social media platform where forums can get together and discuss certain topics. Now, moving on to the final paragraph, the immediate reaction to the deepfake scandal in Taiwan from various levels of government was to turn to the law. Oh, we might need a new law for this, or at least charge someone with breaking the law. So if you turn to something, it just means you look to that thing to be a solution for you or to help you out. Sometimes when I need a good recipe, I turn to my brother-in-law, who is a great chef. So while it's true that laws might help discourage the production of deep fakes, the fact remains that they are all over the internet now. They sure are.
Yeah, how can you stop that? It's all over the place. It's like they have speed limits for scooters in Taiwan, but they can go as fast as they want in most situations. There just aren't enough police to enforce the laws. And the same thing is true on the internet here. You can turn to the law, but they're not going to stop these videos. And the more we understand deepfakes, the better we will be able to counteract the problems they pose. So there's that pattern. The more something is the case, the more something else is the case. So the more we understand, the better we will be able to do something about it. We can counteract the problems. To counteract just means to do the opposite thing that something has done or its effect. So they're doing these bad things, so we can do some good things to sort of balance things out, to counteract things. Well, that brings us to the end of our explanation. Let's turn to our Chinese teacher now.
好，请同学看到第二段。第二段一开头是一个主题句 Across the globe.Deepfakes are used for a variety of reasons. 这句话意思就是说，在全球各地，深伪技术的运用有各种理由。我们后面就可以看得到，到底有哪一些理由。好，那我们接着看到第二个句子，就开始告诉我们，一般人在运用 AI 的时候会拿来做什么。所以，虽然有一些人运用 AI 是要让我们看得到科技无限的潜能，或者呢，有时候只是用来嘲弄或者戏弄在权有掌握权位的人。不过这一些无伤大雅的使用，甚至于是正当的科技运用呢，只占了1/10而已。所以在 while 在这个句子的意思是虽然，但是呢，他们只占了1/10。请同学把主要子句的 account for 画起来，就是占多少比例。好，再来呢，请同学看到第4个句子 At least 100 politicians and other media personalities。请同学把 personalities 画起来，在这里呢，不是个性的意思，而是指人物 personalities。再来，请同学呢注意到 were appalled to， 这个呢通常都是指有惊世骇俗的事情发生的时候，我们人的反应 People are appalled to hear something or to learn something。 再来，请同学呢看到第三段，因为呢 Deepfakes 引发了很多问题，大家就会诉诸法律。诉诸法律怎么说呢？ Turn to the law。 好，再来请看到第3个句子，最后一个句子，请同学特别注意 counteract 这一个动词，就是解决什么样子的问题。好，那也请同学特别注意最后一个句子的句型 The more we understand deepfakes, the better we will be able to counteract the problems they pose。 就是越怎么样就越怎么样，我们越了解深伪技术，我们就越能够解决他们所构成的问题。好的，以上就是我们针对第一天课程所做的中文讲解，谢谢大家。
That's it for today, guys. We're going to have to wrap it up today, but we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow with day 2. So we hope you'll join us then. You'll want to learn a little bit more about deepfakes. They're really interesting. For English Digest, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tom. Goodbye.
Bye.